Good morning. Good morning, everyone. I don't say my prayers. I'm praying that this internet is stable today so that I can go live and stay live here on um, Facebook and YouTube. So we're going to get started right now. So just hang tight.
Hello. I wanted to come on and tell you about my amazing coach, Miss Tanisha Shanee, aka Miss Inspiration. She has been my coach for the past 2 months, and she has pushed me way outside my comfort zone. She has me doing things that I have not done before, being coached by her. Things that I was like, oh, I'm not going to do this. But she's like, you can do this. She encourages me, she inspires me, she motivates me, and she is just amazing.
All right, y'all. So I am back. Yes, I am back. I have not been here for a couple of Mondays. Where I'm staying, I'm realizing there's a lot of people in the resort. The internet connection is not the greatest, so I do apologize. But I have been thinking about y'all. I have been praying for you all, and so many great things. And if you just saw that last video from one of my former clients, Dr. Tamara, if you're interested in working with me one-on-one, similar to what she did, please look at the description box. I do have a special going on right now where you can work on me one-on-one and we can get you to the spaces of identifying your fears and just really getting you to a space of operating in your superpower, your gifts and talents that God has. So as always, I like to start our Mondays with a affirmation. So for those of you that are new here, again, I am Tanisha Shanee, Miss Inspiration. I thank you for spending some time, whether you're watching on Facebook or you're watching on YouTube. And I like to do these Monday morning inspiration videos to just get us encouraged and inspired for the week. Sometimes God will give me a nice little message for y'all, and I definitely will. As you can see, I am still in beautiful Myrtle Beach. So if you have not been paying attention to my page, go ahead, go back. You're able to, if you're on YouTube, go over to my Facebook page, and you can go through. I've been posting a lot of videos and just beautiful sunrise. Like right now, it's getting cloudy, which is great because I caught the great sunrise video this morning. I'm going to share on my page later on today. So nothing is popping out, so I'm gonna just take the first card. I like this. I am energized by my passion. I am energized by my passion. If you are watching this, type that into the chat. And if you are watching the replay, hit hashtag replay so I know that you was here. I am energized by my passion, which I think is a great segue into our conversation today about why you need to know your superpower, right? So your passion is an alignment of your superpower. Who you are is an alignment of your superpower. The things that you should be doing are an alignment of your superpower. Now, you're probably saying, well, Tanisha, I'm not like Superman or Batman. I don't have a superpower. We all have a superpower. So that's the first thing I want you to really know. If you do not believe that you have a superpower, that's the first thing that you have to come to terms with, right? And your superpower is 9 times out of 10, it's going to be the one thing that probably scares you the most. It's going to probably be the one thing that you can do naturally, organically, without any real training. But for whatever reason, when you use it, it's the one thing that scares you. Okay. So let's break that down for a minute. So the first thing that I want you to realize is that if you don't want to accept your superpower, Why you need to know it and you need to operate in it is because God gave you that gift for this particular time in life because he needs for you to use that gift. God gave you that gift and he needs for you to use that gift this time in life. So this is the reason why it is something that you need to know, you need to identify and you need to really start, taking action towards. Um Not taking action can cause you, I won't say cause you harm because like God's not going to harm you, but it is not going to bring you the satisfaction that you're looking for in your life. See, we all have the superpower that if we use it, you're going to be energized by what you're doing. You're going to be energized by everything. Like it's going to naturally wake you up. You think that I just woke up this morning like, oh, I'm so excited. Like when I first got up and I was like, dang, yo, I'm looking at the time. I'm like, I gotta go live at 8. But now, and it's not because of the coffee, it's because this is what my superpower is. This is something that I am supposed to be doing. This is why I had to become comfortable. Like, guys, I'm always honest about my own journey. I never wanted to be a speaker. I've never wanted to be a speaker. Like, for people that don't believe that, believe it. I never wanted to be a speaker. From a little girl, I might have known all the answers, but I was sitting here and I was just like, I'll wait till the teacher call on me. I had allowed so many of my own barriers and insecurities to take over that was keeping me from speaking up, that was keeping me from speaking and using my voice. So when I finally, and I say finally, got to a space, I was forced into that space. God always created an opportunity for me to use my voice, for me to speak, for me to stand in front of people and to use my voice. He's going to always create that because that is your superpower. Think about, and again, sometimes you have to really sit back and reflect. Think about the times that opportunities was created for you. You didn't sign up, you didn't apply for it. Those opportunities were created for you and you just stepped into it and it was just like a natural opportunity and you just thriving it naturally. That is that's how you're going to start to identify what is your superpower. I don't have a degree in education. I didn't take any special training in education. I started to teach in 2010 professionally. And I did that because life was smacking me upside my head. And I said, I'm tired of these bills. I can't. The job that I had at the time, I was making less than 40,000 with a master's degree. Okay, that's the truth. And my best friend kept saying to me, "Go be a teacher. Go be a teacher." And I'm thinking when I heard that initially, I'm thinking she means go apply to New York City DOE, try to get a certification. I just heard steps and steps and steps, and I heard blockage, 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 and I said, I don't got time for that. And then when she said it again, she said she was more clear this time. Go be an adjunct professor. I was like, how can I be an adjunct? I'm thinking, look, this is how, and this is also will debunk any lies and excuses that we have told ourselves, that society has told us. I was always under the impression that in order for you to teach in a college, you had to have a PhD. You had to be Dr. So and so. And again, it made me reflect. I had professors in college that were not doctors. So we totally tend to, although we have experienced this, we tend to block this out, but whatever. So I started teaching. And I remember the first time that I taught my first class. What was the affirmation? I am energized by my passion. The first time that I taught my first class in a college setting, I had energy. I felt alive. I felt amazing. I was like, wait, what is this feeling? This feeling, it feels good. I was understand at that time in 2010 that that was my superpower. All right, come on now, internet. Don't try to act up today, right? I had to accept this is my superpower. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. I didn't acknowledge that. I didn't acknowledge that this was something that I was supposed to be doing until like 2014, when people were calling me now and they were putting me in opportunities. Hey, I need you to teach this course. Not something I ever taught before, but I need you to teach this course. Because now people were identifying my superpower. They saw me. When they thought of a teacher, an instructor, a facilitator, they thought of Tanisha. So I had to make myself available. So once I realized what my superpower was and I made myself available, opportunities started to flow. And that's what I want so many people to really start understanding, is that you have to realize that when you know what your superpower is, you will start looking at the job market differently. You will start looking at how to make money differently. You will start realizing just like you're going to stand different, and you're going to believe like, wait, I'm not in lack. I'm not in a struggle. When 2020 happened, I was listening to two sides of the fence. I had some people that was like, woe is me, life is about to smack me. I can't believe I don't have any money. You know, my life is all in shambles. Good morning, Dr. Samara. My life is all in shambles, and this, da 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 da. That's what they were singing. But then I had people like me who were like, yo, I'm about to use my superpower and I'm about to win. I won in 2020. I won in 2021 because I tapped into that superpower. I didn't look at life with lack. I didn't look at life and saying, you know, well, my life is all in shambles. No, I understood that this was a time that I can take my powers and I can stand out and I can let it win for me. And it was not a lot of effort. So when you start to realize, yo, what is your superpower? What is that gift that God needs you to use? That's where you're going to. Something else that happened, you know, and I think I know who this message is for. So just be careful, okay? Sometimes we think we know our superpower. And really what we're doing is we're running towards the easier thing that we are comfortable with doing. I'm going to say that again. We run to the thing that is the easier thing that we're comfortable in doing. This is the reason why a lot of people don't like their superpower, because it's really, your superpower is typically going to make you uncomfortable. You're not going to you're not going to wake up saying, I want to do this. Not until you get into that comfortable space. So I remember like 2 years ago, I put on my Facebook page, and I said, when you think of me, what gift do you think of? Good morning, Alicia. I said, what gift do you think of? And a lot of people were saying writing, right? So I was like, yeah, see, everyone thinks that I'm a writer. I'm going to be a writer. I'm going to just focus on writing. And so God said, no, it's not writing. Writing, I used to think, and a lot of people used to think that writing was my primary gift. Because I can write, I can express myself, you know, all those other things, right? And that's where we just start like thriving. I'm a writer. All right. And people start writing poems. I used to write poetry. I've had poetry published. I wrote my first book in 2014. So I'm like, this is where, you know, I can go to school. Like going to school was never an issue for me. Give me a paper. Right? Give me a paper and I'm gonna write that paper. Right? Because writing is a gift. So I'm trying to stay in that, and God kept pushing me. See, when I would write a post, I would get an impact, right? I would get some likes. I would get some comments. People were like, yes, I'm feeling it. But let me put up a video clip of me speaking. I get a different response. It's not that I get more likes, but the impact was different. So I was like, well, God, you know, I can write, like I'm a writer. God is like, yes, that is one of your gifts, but your superpower is your voice. I remember being on a prayer call And a guy said to me, and I will never forget, and this comes out and this comes to my mind so often. He was like, when you speak, it's like oil comes out of your mouth. And I was like, what? And he was like, it's like oil. It's like you have such a way of connecting with people with your voice. He was like, you have to use your voice. He was like, yes, you're comfortable in writing. You're going to be a writer. You're going to write books. You're going to write posts. You're going to write all these different things. He said, but people are not going to resonate and connect until you open up your mouth and you speak. When you speak, that's when lives are going to change. When you speak, that's when they're going to move. They need to hear your voice. Catch this one. So what most people tend to do is when they hear that, they're like, okay, let me get my phone. Let me go to Anchor, right? Because I have a podcast. Let me go to Anchor and I'm going to record my podcast. I'm going to record my voice because he said my voice is going to have an impact. So I'm going to hide behind my voice. I'm going to hide behind this device and I'm just going to record my voice because my voice has oil, right? So people are going to resonate. This is why some people thrive on Clubhouse. Right? If you don't know what Clubhouse is an app where you can just have audio rooms and you're just talking. There's no cameras. You don't have to worry about how your hair look. And God said, no, not for you. At least that's rich. Yes, right? And thank you. I'm glad you said that. And your presence changes atmospheres. So when I came down to Myrtle Beach, I stopped in Charlotte and I met with one of my sorority sisters. And I was like, yeah, I said, I have to get back to doing my podcast. And so she's making this face. And I'm like, why are you making this face? And she was like, I don't think it's supposed to just be a podcast. Like, I think she was like, when I watch your videos, people need to see your face. And I laughed because last night I was thinking about something that this young lady I had met like 6-7 years ago. And she used to come on my lives all the time. And she used to be like, yo, your facial expression, she was like, just you. It's just like your presence. So that's like you just said, my presence changes atmosphere. Yes, some people are going to thrive richly in the radio world. Some people go on Clubhouse and they rock and roll. Okay. But you put that same person on a camera, it's not the same effect. They don't have the same wow. They don't have the same richness. But you put the person who is supposed to be on camera, you put them on camera, it's just something different. They show up who they are supposed to be. God shows up in a different way. So I know that for me, so often I used to just say, let me just hide behind, I'm gonna just do my little podcast. I used to love when Facebook I think they still do it. Haven't had an Android in a while, but on Facebook, like 4 years ago, if you had an Android, you were able to go live with just audio. Facebook didn't allow you to do that because with that, you were able to like put up like a picture and you were able just to talk. So this was before Facebook had like the audio rooms. So I used to love that. Wake up in the morning, you ain't got to worry about the bags under your eyes, got any crust on your face and things like that. But even that, I want to tell you, if you're that person that's worrying about like, look, I have a gap, I done gained some weight. So I got, my chin over here looking crazy. God is like, I don't care about none of that. The people that I'm sending to you don't care about any of that. They need to hear your voice. They need to see your presence. You have to use this superpower. It has to come out and it's going to connect with the people that you need to connect with. This is why some people on TikTok are thriving. Some of them people on TikTok, they don't care how they look. They go live, they put on that camera and they start talking to you. And next thing you know, they got 1 million followers on a given day with them looking what people would consider crazy. The people that are, the content creator strategists are going to tell them, oh my gosh, you can't do that. You have to make sure that your makeup is flawless. Those people are like, they're going against, and they're like, no, because this is my superpower. This is a message that needs to get out right now. I'm going to get this message out no matter how I look. And guess what? They still get the results. The people receive that message, right? Somebody had posted on their page, 2 days ago, 3 days ago. And it said it's not about being perfect. It's about being consistent. See, when we are consistent and using our superpower, we eventually become perfect. But there are some people that are waiting to be perfect. I'm waiting for the perfect setting. I'm waiting for the perfect light. I'm waiting for the perfect phone, for the perfect computer, for the perfect connection, for the perfect friends, so that my nails are done, my hair is done. Like, I haven't had a haircut since I left New York. But guess what? God is like, you still got to get up this morning, young lady, and you still got to put this message out. We're not worrying about any of that. Though your people, the people that's waiting for you, they don't care about that. They're not sitting there, judging. Do you see her? You see how she don't have no hair? She ain't getting no haircut yet. Oh, what's wrong with her? They're not worrying about that. You are here because you need this message, right? See, like I said, I don't know who God be sitting in these rooms, and when I go live, I don't know, and this is why I know I have to be obedient, right? I have to be obedient because this is my superpower. And I want to help so many people to get into their superpower. Stop hiding behind what you're comfortable with. Whatever you're comfortable with right now, stop hiding behind it. Stop hiding behind it. It's not going to give you the results that you desire. This is the reason why people are applying for jobs. Let me tell you what happens to me. So right now I'm like in the process of looking for a job, right? And I apply for this position. Like I said, God does this to me too. Right? All last week, I kept hearing, you have to use your voice. You have to use your voice. You have to use your voice. I heard that all last week. Everything that I would turn on YouTube, something would come through. Use your voice. Use your voice. Like, you're meant to be in the front. You're meant to be in the spotlight. If you're meant to be on camera, you're meant to be. And I'm like, but God, and I'm applying to all the jobs using one of my other skills. See, I have many skills, and I know what my talents and abilities are. So I'm applying to jobs as an instructional designer, a learning designer. I'm gonna design the content, right? I've done workshops on that and everything. God is like, yes, that can help you make money. Great. I love that. You can do that. Bam. That's how I pay for my Invisalign. That's how I pay for my car because I use that skill and talent. But that's not the gift that God is saying for me to use right now. So the company that I'm interviewing with, that's a whole nother story in itself. The position that I'm interviewing for, they called me and they was like, yo, so we don't really think that you're ready for this particular role. But, right? And I was like, she was like, but we have another position, and we think that you would thrive in that. Because a part of my interview was doing a presentation, right? Catch that. Had to do a presentation. She was like, it's something about when you are presenting, when you are facilitating, like you shine. And I'm just sitting there like, and I'm trying not like to be annoyed because again, all last week, that's all I kept hearing. You need to be on the camera. You need to be teaching. You need to be facilitating. And I'm like, but in my mind, God, the money's not there. See, they do this thing strategically, and it forces people out of their superpower. It forces them out of their superpower because strategically, the job market would say, all right, trainers, facilitators going to make this amount of money. So the real money is in instructional designing. That's why I ended up in instructional designing because that's really where the money is. But the facilitator has to bring that instruction to life. So she was like, well, here's another position, da 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 da. She was like, and it has a lot of facilitation. I think that's where you're going to shine. I haven't heard about how much the money is yet. They ain't sent me the math yet. But I'm like, you know what, God, I hear you. I hear you. Like, I get it. Forget it. Like, it's done. Like, I understand. Even if I don't get this position, because the only way that I wouldn't get the position is if the math is not mathing. But I understand. This is why I knew I had to come back live on Mondays. This is why y'all heard me earlier. All right, internet, let's go. Let's let this connection stay connected with no issues, because I know that this is what I'm supposed to do. And I understand that, I'm called to facilitate. I'm called to teach. I'm called to just speak, right? I did a webinar this weekend with Les Brown, and that was one thing that he just kept talking about. When you know what your superpower is, when you know what that gift is, that just does something for you. Like, it's not only for you. No, like Alicia said earlier, it's gonna resonate, right? It's gonna resonate with the people that are there, right? And I have been doing live since 2015. 2015 is when Facebook really started, and I've just been going live since 2015. And I can honestly say that there have been times I didn't understand why I was going live. And this is the last reason. Because when you are operating in your superpower and you're using it the way that you're supposed to, you're going to impact people's life. You're going to help them. You're going to help them change their life. It's not about me anymore. Like once I understood that this is something I just had to embrace because there are people out there that needs it. Whether they're going to watch it live, whether they're going to watch the replay, they need it. Somebody needs this. It's not about me. I had to just get over the fear. I had to get over myself. I had to get over my excuses and just realize if God is saying go, speak, say this, say it this way, be your authentic self. Because see, sometimes you go into like a lot of these programs, and that's something I get annoyed because I've had coaches over there try to change me. They try to change who I am, change my delivery, change my style. And one thing I tell them, no, y'all wouldn't tell ET to not be ET. ET been screaming and shouting since I started watching him on Thank God It's Monday. Are you gonna tell him to stop screaming and shouting? That's his delivery. That's the way that's how he shows up. That's how God has him to show up. So if you're not going to change him, why would you change me? Are you going to change Les Brown, his storytelling ways and the way that he just, he throws in jokes and he laughs at himself? No. So my gift, the way that God has me to present, the way God has me show up, that's the way that I'm going to go. There are so many speakers out here right now. The speaking industry is, I won't say it's oversaturated because it's not saturated with the right people. Can we talk about that real quick? See, it's not saturated with the people that's supposed to be there. And I'm saying that honestly. See, the people that's supposed to be there, the people like us, we're not, because we're sitting here making excuses. Sorry, this little bug has been aggravating my soul and I still didn't get it. It's not saturated with the people that's supposed to be there. Because we're out here making excuses. We're doubting ourselves because someone told us that, well, you're supposed to wear, you're supposed to wear dresses. Look, you go the way God tells you. You go the way God tells you to go. You show up the way God says show. Don't laugh at me, Tamara. You show up the way God says to show up. That's the only person that you need to be worried about. No one else. Right? Well, I'm so happy that he definitely sent you here. I'm so happy that you are here. Thank you for being here. But we have to show up and we got to do it the way God tells us to do it. That's why, I do believe in investing, right? I invest in coaches because some coaches, they have the right strategies. I have worked with Coach Will in 2020. And again, I can't say anyone's a bad coach because I didn't implement things. I still got the whole strategies right on my phone. And guess what I'm about to do? Because I was just like, I'm getting sick of myself. Sometimes you got to get sick of yourself. This is another message for somebody, and I think it's just for me, right? You got to get sick of yourself. So you got the strategies. Go back to them strategies, and sit there and implement them. Because if they're using it and they're seeing 5 figures, 6 figures a year, 7 figures a year, and it's working for them and it's working for their other clients, then we got to take the chance of saying, let me actually implement this and see what can I get. Let me see what can happen, right? Doesn't mean that you're not capable. A lot of us is that we're playing small. You're playing in your comfort zone, right? Me being on Facebook is a comfort zone. Me being on YouTube is a comfort zone. I just got to get past the fear of saying, well, maybe they may not have the budget. That's really my fear. My fear is not that I can't speak in front of people because I do it. I've been doing it since 2010. I've taught in front of the most was 60 students, and don't ask me how they have that set up, but it is what it is, right? I've been in front of, I think the largest crowd that I've spoken in front of was 2,000. It was out of college, 2,000 students at one time. So that's not a fear. I just got to get over the fear of them saying no, or we don't have the money, because they never say no. They always just like, well, how much? Well, we don't have the money. I just got to get past that. And I just got to do the other part, right? I just got to sit here and put together them emails that my coach gave me 2 years ago and send out, because I still have the email list. So again, sometimes we already have the strategies. You have the answers. This is why I said a couple of weeks ago, some of y'all don't need to invest in any more programs. You don't need to buy any more books. You don't need to enroll in any more master classes, because you already have the answers. You already have the strategies. Go back to them old journals. Go back to the journal that you have. If you don't have my journal, my happy places on Amazon, go ahead and go get that. Quick, drop in. If you don't have, go back to wherever you wrote those notes at, whether it's in your phone, on your computer, go back to those notes and start to implement them, because your superpower is needed. It's necessary. Stop allowing the fear, the doubt, the disbelief, your job, your family, your friends, the significant other that might not be the person for you. We're not going to talk about that today. But some of y'all are allowing the wrong people to stop you from getting to where you're supposed to be. You got to do this. You have to do this. The people out there that need you, they need you. They're waiting for you. Look at, if I didn't go live this morning, how Elise, is it Elisa? I'm so sorry. I butcher names. That's the one thing about teaching I'm still bad at. I apologize. But if I didn't go live, she would have never gotten this confirmation. Right? So it's not about us. So many times we make it about us. Your superpower is going to change your life, and is going to change the life of those that needs it. Because there's some people out here who are speakers. Like today, they're speakers and they're not good at it, right? No shade, right? No shade. But you might be the writer and you're not writing. People might resonate and connect. Like I couldn't tell you if James Patterson's voice resonated with me. I can't tell you the number of times I've heard James Patterson actually speak. But let me get one of James Patterson's books. It's a wrap. Like, remember the Alex Cross series? Like, come on. I used to read an Alex Cross book in like a weekend. Because James Patterson has that gift of writing. Yes, he can speak. Yes, he can. But which one is going to resonate the most? His writing. That's where a lot of you, that's pretty much all that you have to do. What am I doing? I'm doing good at it. I'm doing well in it. It's going to get some results. It's going to help me, right? But when I do this, it changes people's lives. Like, people have tears. Like, I'm telling you, I have been in situations where I would literally, let me tell you, it's going to be the last thing I tell y'all before I go, because I've been on here for 33 minutes. And I thank you for being here with me. 2016, after I had the miscarriage, I went to K Michelle. Y'all know K Michelle? K Michelle had a listening session. It wasn't a party, listening session in New York City. Now, I'm not a K Michelle fan. At that time, the only song I knew was Can't Raise a Man. That was the only song that I knew. Okay. So I'm up here like, why am I being called to go to this thing? So she had posted up on her stories, like, I'm doing a listening session. If you want to go, email so-and-so. And, and if you're selected, we will email you back. So I saw the story. I sent the email, and lo and behold, they called me. And I was like, well, all right, it's kind of weird. I mean, people in there, they know her songs word from word. And I'm up here like this, looking crazy, because I'm like, I don't know none of these songs. They knew her earliest songs before she was on Love and Hip Hop. So I said, all right. And then we got into a session of like just talking, right? So everybody's talking, they sharing this, they sharing that. And then God was like, speak. And I'm like, and for those that don't know, like, I have those moments where I'll hear God clearly. He'll be like, speak. And I just feel it's such an uncomfortable feeling, because you're like, what do I say in this moment? So I just spoke and I said whatever. So there was a song on her album and it was talking about like the person that you it was like a conflict between the person that you wanted and the person that you needed. And oftentimes we go after the person that we want versus the person that we need. Now I talk about that in my first book. So I was like, and I said what I said. I can't remember exactly what I said, which happens a lot. When you're operating your superpower, 9 times out of 10, you don't even know what you're saying. Like it's just happening. So I'm just like listening, da 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 da, and I just happened to look around. People were crying, and I'm like, why are they crying? Like I'm still speaking. Now I'm getting uncomfortable because I'm like, people are crying. Why are they crying? I felt like what I was saying was not profound. But what I realized was that at that moment, there were people who were hurting and they were dealing with similar situations with the topic that we were talking about, especially in relationships. Like, a lot of us, we struggle where we are constantly gravitating and holding on to the people that we want, and the people that we need is standing right in front of us. But we reject that because no, 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 because I want this so bad. And then next thing you know, that person that we need is just still standing and waiting for you. And that person that you want, they're rejecting you. They're smacking you in the face, not physically, but the rejection is smacking you. You know what I'm saying? They're saying things that's hurting you, that's pushing you away. And then the person that you need is like, I'm right here. So I don't know if I said that, but I said something along those lines. And I remember taking the train back home. There was a young man, and he lived in the same direction. Like he was 3 stops after my stop. And so the whole train ride, like we had like a whole coaching session. And he's like crying. He's telling me he got all these tears, the snot. And I'm up here like, okay, this is what happens. But that's what happens. And now I understand why that happens because that's just my superpower. So when I understood that and I started to realize that it doesn't give me fear, it doesn't make me angry anymore. I wasn't disappointed when the job told me last week, like, and I was like, at first I wanted to be like, well, first of all, and then it was like, sit down, Tanisha, because that's not even the work that you want to do. See, the company that I'm with right now, I love what I do because I facilitate, I coach, I mentor, I do those things. I just need some other benefits to go with that. So it's like if I was to get all of that and I could still operate in that, I would be happy where I'm at. That's the only reason. So you got to realize like these things are going to start happening to you. Don't be surprised. Think about if you are looking for a new job, think about, what are you applying for? Are you going to be capable of utilizing the superpower? Because that's what makes it easier. That's what makes going to work easier. You know, is anyone trying to stop you? Anyone's trying to talk you out of, they trying to push you away, they trying to shut your mouth. No, it seems like we have a lot of speakers here today, right? Are they trying to stop your voice from being heard? Then that means that you need to stop talking to those people and get around those people that needs to hear you, right? So I definitely just want to say, thank you. Thank you for spending some time with me this morning. I know I said a lot. I don't even know everything that I said, but I'm praying that it has resonated with those that needs it. For those that's going to watch on a replay, we thank you for spending some time with us today. And just remember, like I said, our affirmation for this week is I am energized. Oops, sorry. I am energized by my passion. And in this case, we are energized by our superpower. Right. So again, I do have a coaching offer that is available right now for 2 sessions, 2 45-minute sessions. If that's something that you're interested in, go to the description box and sign up. All right. Definitely want you to get to that point where you know your superpower, you're operating that superpower, you are excited about that superpower. And whatever fears, we're going to talk about them fears, we're going to just really, really, really get you to that space where you're comfortable being uncomfortable, right? And trust me, I love it. I love being uncomfortable now. All right. And again, if you have not gotten your copy of my happy journal, it's just a regular notebook, but it's a very thick journal. So if you need anywhere to write them ideas, those thoughts down, you can definitely order this from Amazon. It is available Amazon Prime, so you can get it in a day or two. I think Amazon Prime got rid of 1-day shipping, but we ain't gonna talk about that. But and there's something that you need, get those ideas. And then last, right, I am reactivating Inspirational Trailblazers, my lifestyle group. If you're looking for a space, a safe space to be around individuals, like-minded individuals that can speak to you, that speak the same language, that speak the dreamer's language, and you are looking for that right now, I do have I reactivated Patreon. So you go to patreon.com/ Tanisha Shanee. The first 100 people will get access for $7 a month, and your price will never change. So it will just be $7. Now, in that group is similar to this, where we go like that group I will pour more into. So we still have the Monday inspirations, absolutely. But anyone that has ever worked with me, like in a group setting, like if God go live, like God be like, here's a message, I'm going live. And I have access to like so many different teachings that I have done over the years. That group would get access to those teachings, to master classes that I have done that people paid hundreds of dollars. My group would get access to that. So if that's something that you're looking for a community space, and you're not ready to invest for the fully one-on-one coaching, come on over. It's $7 a month. And I definitely, once we get to the first 20 people, I will start adding workouts, because I do believe, anyone that knows me, my journey started with my healthy living lifestyle changes back in 2012. And I definitely want to make sure that we have that incorporated. But we need the first 20 people. So tell your friends to tell a friend to come over there and join us. And then we can sit there and also add the workouts once we get to the first 20 people. So I thank you so much for spending some time with me today. That's my little fake British accent. Um, I hope you have an amazing Monday. Have a great week. Thank you so much, Alicia. Dr. Tamara, thank you for spending some time with me. I love you all. And let's stay connected. Be well, be blessed. God loves you. I love you as well. I just wanted to post this like real quick. I forget that I can post comments. Right. So I'm so happy that you came here. You said he definitely knew I needed this. Like I said, I know I go live because God tells me to. So I'm happy, and I hope that you continue to follow everything that God is telling you to do. I don't know what your gift is. I don't know what he's calling you to do, but it seems like he's calling you to speak. So I want you to speak, stay authentic to who you're supposed to be. Do it exactly how God needs you to do it. Don't allow anyone to stray that message, to stray your style, whoever you are, how you're supposed to. And like you said, you are tailored for a particular group, right? And so that is something that you have to be okay with. And that's something that I love about Inspirational Trailblazers and what I do. I don't want anyone to be like me. Be like you. Be like you. Only God is telling you, right? So I'm happy that you were here, and I just really was led to share this one message right now. Okay, so thank you guys. I love you.